He kind of gets stuck when he uses that ultimate. But Matilda comes out. Geek Fam, the big brain Beloit Matilda, caught out by big brain Ares. They're calling out Geek Fam's draft more than NIP Flash. What is this?
What can I say, right? Beloitsky, super aggressive here. They ban out both the Aurora and Luoyi. This is what Matilda is afraid of, right? Because you want to bring someone into the guiding wind. So with those two heroes being out, you know, there's more mobility coming up from Geek Fam. And also, because you have a Zaz that has lack of mobility, this is where the Matilda can bring that Zaz into the team fights.
Acting as enabler, acting as facilitator as always. So let's hear with a different approach, not just from NIP Flash, but also from Geek Fam, what will happen in Game 2? Will we see a Game 3 or will this be the end of NIP Flash? I'm throwing to you, Husky.
On top of it all, you have a Zaz that can come online pretty decently well. So I think this is where NIP Flash have to be very cautious about. However, this time down with the Cho, it's not like they have to sit back. They can set up those fights. You have the juicing that gives you a bit of the crowd control that is lacking because of the Cho. So I think it's a balance. It's a really balanced gameplay, but the focal point would still be on this Julian. Can Hades hit those power spikes that you want on this bursty assassin?
On the flip side of having the Cho being able to move around the map, you have Matilda, right? It feels like Beloitsky's Matilda is the answer to a majority of the things that Geek Fam has. Hades shows up and instantly realizes that there's nothing that they could do, so a quick reset for NIP Flash.
Geek Fam here taking it slow, applying a little bit of pressure on the top lane just to make sure that Kadera is fine farming. End of the day, Moskov is still that backup plan if things go south. If there is still a farmed up Moskov, this way can carry Spear of Misery.
Yeah, JPL gotta be really careful with that. Chidera and Beloitsky working together, and this lane pretty much skewed in the favor of Geek Fam. Forced an early recall for Owl, he lost out at least 2 minutes in the process. The minion wave is going to crash underneath the turret at the same time. Geek Fam freeing up Beloitsky.
Yeah, and the fact that you have the guiding wind, you don't have to be too worried about rotation because you can immediately get to the bot lane when the turtle spawns.
Yeah. Another recall for Owl. Gotta force to be reset. Maybe NIP Flash can get something done on the bot side. Bring Vincent back, but that's just not enough. Hades too far away to have an impact. And even for mid side, JPL, despite finding Beloitsky, cannot follow up. Forced away by a boy.
And then the Merit spawn coming out from the Zaz is so annoying to deal with, right? One moment you think, it's just a little bit of damage, but the damage over time starts to add up, and this is where Zaz is so deceiving. Just when you think you're fine, once he hits the level 4, then it's just so painful to deal with.
You just don't want to deal with it, right? It's such a headache.
Yeah.
Very minimal solutions.
Yeah, and when he has the dominant descent, it just gets worse.
It just gets worse. And he gets going 1, it gets even worse. So the pain only ramps up. Turtle has spawned. This is where Adamir has a very important job. You can say the same for JPL, right? Can they catch a target that is not under the effects of Guiding Wind? Gobs, with the penalties on Flicker, finds Hades in the back, so Hades needs to be escorted out. Geek Fam taking control of the Turtle Pit, and Adamir being the front line takes away the Nightmare spawn, but here comes the Demonic Descent. Curtisi in danger, he's burning down, and it's gonna be a Flicker. Daytona's welcome to the back. Hades takes the Turtle away. Vincent gets kicked away by JPL, but Big Brain Beloit has the Beloitsky Express. Adamir in danger, Hades with the save, and NIP Flash gets out with the objective.
Well, we said it, if anyone can, it's Hades, right? Despite having a bit of a slightly sticky situation at the start, we saw the penalty zone coming in. A really good guiding wind to pull the Terisla out of a sticky situation. Under it all, Hades with that retribution to secure the turtle there. This is the break that NIP Flash need.
Yeah, not only is getting the objective under that pressure, but also saving his teammate at the same time. All things considered, this is a start that NIP Flash will definitely appreciate, but we are already seeing some of the problems, some of the tests that Geek Fam kind of issues, right? How do you get past this Zaz? How do you deal with the mobility that the Matilda provides?
Curtisi now is looking to roam. Like we said, when you have a choosing, you want to be on the front foot, right? Not necessarily in terms of aggression, but at least in the lead, so that when you spot someone out, you can start to initiate. Because when you're on the back foot, even if you do pull someone back, it's just a green light for the opponents to jump right in front of you. So I think NIP Flash definitely do not want that.
Out holding himself pretty well, despite kind of being put behind just slightly on the top side. JPL looking for kick angle, doesn't find it. Circling Eagle for Beloit to get away. And with Vincent around, NIP Flash couldn't take this.
And we also see the rotations coming off the mid lanes now. Caught into action. A boy waiting in the brush. I was expecting a fight there, right? Because Aboy, you never know what he's gonna do. He does have the damage because he had the Dominus Descent, but just Cho, he can just chicken do and Shimpo out of that.
Definitely a way slower game compared to game number 1, right? NIP Flash finding certain solutions to not only stop Geek Fam from snowballing out of control, but also to protect themselves, right? You build this wall to give Hades and especially Owl space on this carry. Second turtle up on the bot side. This could be where it starts to break the game open.
And this is very uncharacteristic of both teams. Usually we would have a first blood or two by now, but because of the gravitas of this match, right, the importance on these results, you can feel like there is a hinge, a little bit of uncertainty on both sides.
Velocity getting pulled back, circling Ego to the back. JPL also does the same, but has to flicker to safety. Vincent on the chase. The chains come up. Penalty zone from Gobs, locking down JPL and Hades, but they both will get away for now. The stun, not enough from the side of a boy, but it might be sufficient to catch Hades in the bad spot. Vincent on the chase, Curtizi on the run, and his first blood going over to a boy.
Well played by Game Fan there. It felt a little bit too close for my liking. Beloyski as well, nearly going down, and JPL looking for a pickoff, but I don't think he should do it. Gobs coming in the nick of time just to give a little bit of a warning. JPL, if you come in, I will smack you down with my hammer.
Sort of an MVP for that fight, boy. How do you do with his alien offsprings, right? The demonic descent, it's just constantly dealing damage over time to NIP Flash. They juggled it the best they could, but it's so unfortunate that Curtizi got caught with the crowd control.
This is how close the game is, right? Turtle on both sides, and look at the goal. Not even 3-digit lead for either side. It's jumping back and forth, back and forth. Wow, we are in for a ride, but NIP Flash at this point still trying to manage a little bit of a goal lead there, making sure that this carry farms up. Same thing goes for Geek Fam, the Moscow farming up right now. I think for JPL and Beloyski, it's all about these two.
Yeah.
Who can make the better play for their teams to enter these team fights?
Toughest challenge for NIP Flash yet. I mean, JPL really wants to help clear the wave and will be successful in doing so at the cost of some of his HP. The turret's still very low, and I think Geek Fam, they want this structure with the next wave. Bottom side, Goth drops the penalty zone to delay time, but Hades finds the kill.
This is good. This is good for NIP Flash. We're starting to see the Barats roam around a lot more now. This is very characteristic from what we saw from the entirety of the tournament. Whenever the Barats comes online, you want him to be that front line.
And Ao instantly uses the ultimate, pushes Geek Fam back, defends the structure for a second time in a row. NIP Flash finally getting Adamir to the top side. And that does set them up for Ao to have more space, but Turtle is on bot side though.
Yeah, it's so tough. It's so tough when you're up against a Matilda, and this is what she brings to the bot, right? Not only does she have a great sense of mobility, she also can pull her teammates out of trouble, like we saw at the top lane.
Not sure if JPL wants to fight this. Beloyski will commit onto it with the help of Chadera. JPL forces a flicker, and Ao also needs to back off. A constant headache. What do you do, right? JPL just does not want to get the kick. Or rather, he can't.
Yeah, but at the same time, well, this is good for NIP Flash. You are giving more time for this carry to come in the game. And like we said, when you have a Barats on your side, and he does pick up that Thunder Belt, this is where he will skill. But interestingly enough, Adamir actually decided to go for the Guardian's Helm. So I think he's just looking for more HP to tank up, rather than, that late game skilling.
Yeah, not even a Thunder Belt first. And then knockout from Beloy. Turtle goes over to Hades. A good engage, but Gobs comes in with the counter. NIP Flash wanting to take this out. Curtizi stacking up the damage with the Lantern as Adamir gets away, but not far enough to find safety. A boy with a double kill as Curtizi takes Vincent down. Gob still healing up, and Brain Beloy pulls him to safety for another time. Now it's our turn to join the fight, but it's just not enough. Beloyski pulled back out, picks up the kill. Even trace, but NIP Flash gets the objective.
Really prolonged fight, and he even had enough time to call both the gold laners from the top lane into the middle. But now look at this choosing. Curtizi just being a pain in Gobsnack. That burning. Is it enough? No, it isn't. Hades nearly wanted to follow up there as well. But boy, this game is close. But NIP Flash now starting to have a little bit of a lead in their favor. Just slightly under 1.5k goal. However, on the other side, Kadera just finding this pocket of spaces to push down that tier 1 tower at the top lane.
This is where I want to talk about something that Geek Fam has brought to the table so far. How do you solve a boy? Oh, well, this king maybe is one of the stars. Beloy getting adjusted. Actually, no! Wow, the light wheels taking him down mid-air. NIP Flash finding signs of life. Top tier 1 goes down. But yes, how do you solve our boy right now?
Well, I think first and foremost is about rotating quickly enough that the Zaz doesn't get put in the picture. This is where NIP Flash have been finding pickoffs, right? Beloyski finds himself in no man's land, Way of Dragon kick, sends him backwards. The carry is there to follow up. And Geek Fam, if they're not too careful, JPL can find even more of these engagements. And I think NIP Flash have to constantly do it. They cannot allow Geek Fam the rest that they did not have in Game 1.
Absolutely. Actually, they caught Beloy before his Purify came off cooldown. It was like a 3-second difference. While NIP Flash, they now maybe can look to set up for the Lord, spawning top side right now. Seems like most of them are positioned in that spot, but again, a boy is going to be a bit of a headache. JPL finds it, that's the kick, Purify baited out. A boy will go into his ultimate as Kurtisi pops his to bait distance. Beloyski also in the fight. Adamir on a separate angle, dealing with Vincent and Gobs, both teams looking to just play this tug of war.
Yeah, this is good for NIP Flash. Dominance Descent already used, so our boy would not be effective in team fight, but NIP Flash, they're playing it very safe. You can't afford to make a mistake. We worked so hard for the goal, but I feel like they're giving Geek Fam too much respect, right? I think at the end of the day, they still don't want to take a bad team fight because of the potency that Gobs can bring as a Terizla.
Yeah. Lord dances are hard, man. Lord just hits harder and harder with every second, and Hades had to retreat because he was the only one on that objective. And Geek Fam successfully pushing NIP Flash off the Lord, but NIP Flash, they don't want to let go of space, and they're trading their health as a result of that.
Geek Fam doing a very good job at managing the pace, right? They're pulling the ball in NIP Flash court, but it's a hot potato instead of a basketball because Geek Fam, they have everything resetted. Dominance Descent once again available for a boy, and if Geek Fam really want to, they can take this fight to NIP Flash.
And Adamir just used the Daytona's welcome. He was trying to fish for something, but Geek Fam were just not in range, so key spells are gone. Maybe JPL will be the difference maker. He's going to be spotted out by Gobs. That's not the target you want. And this nightmare spawn from a boy is just a nuisance. That's a walking turret.
But this is also not too bad for Adamir, right? As a Barrage, remember the first item he picked up was the Guardian's Helm. So as long as he goes out of fight, not for too long, he can regen those HP back. So really good balance coming up for both teams. But for Geek Fam, look at that. They're confident that NIP Flash will not take the Lord. They even sent the Roger into the jungle to get extra farm.
Yeah. And the majority of NIP Flash's net worth comes from Hades, right? 1,000 ahead of this Roger. But like you said, Vincent, he gets the space that he wants. And on the same time, Chidera, he's also been given some of the jungle camps. This tangle, very, very extended.
It's
both
nerve-wracking.
teams, they don't want to give up space.
Yeah.
And
we're already starting to see Vincent hit that level 15, so that sort of the level gap that Hades had over the Roger is completely gone. And this is good for Geek Fam. They've delayed, or at least they've sent a bit of a shiver down NIP Flash's spine long enough for Vincent to catch up to Hades' level.
Yeah, whatever happens in the background right now, Hades, his 15 first, so still a level ahead of Vincent. NIP Flash looking to rush down the Lord. The Blitz might prove to be fruitful. Hades gets the objective. Gobs isolated. The JPL and Adamir do their best to keep Geek Fam away. A sacrifice that is worth it. But Geek Fam might just want more. Vincent can't find the space. JPL in the front. Shun post to safety. NIP Flash makes the move.
Yeah, Adamir the scapegoat of it all. NIP Flash, they were looking for the Lord. They got it. They tried to look for the re-entry, but Geek Fam, they're not going to push their luck so far.
Hades is going to try Chidera. That was close.
Close. That was close. If the enhanced chain had land, I think that would have been a dead Moskov.
Yeah. Or at least a Purify.
Yeah, that's right. And JPL now just going to go back. I think they're going to reset things. That was how long it took to take the Lord. It became an enhanced Lord.
Yeah.
And, well, with it pushing down the bot lane now, I think for Geek Fam, it's about clearing up the waves. And they have the resources to do so, right? A boy on the Zaz. You got Moskov. Those are really good wave clears. But Vincent dropping very low.
They want Vincent. Vincent rolls away. The transform. Gobs. Sacrificial lamb. Good kick by JPL. NIP Flash still has the capacity to continuing this blitzkrieg. Geek Fam wanting to hold this siege back. JPL again fishing for an opportunity. Beloyski will buy time with the circling ego as the Lord gets whittled down, but this should be an inhibitor for NIP Flash. What a push.
Yeah, fantastic macro lane management coming up for NIP Flash to get not only tier 3 at the bot lane, but also tier 2. And look at how tanky Adamir is as a barrage, but JPL finding a little barrage.
Chidera lands the all. JPL is the target, pinned to the wall. Chidera finds the kill. They could not finish him all, but there's a trade there. Chidera going off. Winter Crown for Hades. Vincent as a trade, but Chidera, he has free reign out, trying to man fight gods. Should be able to find him with the light wheel. Chidera gets brought back by Curtizi, but Adamir works with Curtizi to find a kill. 4 for NIP Flash.
This is tough for a boy, and NIP Flash. The ball in their court, they shot the 3-point, they landed it. Can they close this game out? A boy desperately trying to defend here. But I think NIP Flash, they have it in them, and they will bring us to a game 3. Husky, what a game.
Adjustments from NIP Flash. We talked about proactivity. We talked about getting Hades an hour ahead. Hades as the focal point, facilitated by Curtizi on the Jushin. It all came together, right? This came down to the most minuscule